Hello, I am Eric Thurley, and I am your son or daughter's AP government teacher. This year, I cannot make it to open house, so I wanted to share some information with you about the course and how the procedures will go this year. Obviously, it's a new year. I'm excited to have all of my students back at it. Some classes will be 15 kids, some classes will be 25 students, but I'm excited to get back to teaching a full class. I wanted to just go over a couple things with you. If you would like to have access to your son or daughter's Google Classroom, make sure that you can see their Google Classroom. All of the stuff that I'll be presenting in this quick overview is in the Google Classroom, and you should be able to click on it. Each Google Classroom pertains to a specific Google class. So for both of my AP Government classes, I have a separate Google Classroom. So this is AP Government 5ABC. I also have one for my other AP Government class as well. I have different parts of the Google Classroom: current events, articles. We'll talk about Khan Academy in a minute. And here is the class information where I have some Khan Academy schedules, an opening day presentation, which I'll be sharing with your son or daughter, or have already shared with your son or daughter on the first day of class. 5 big ideas in government, which we'll do on the first day of class, maybe the second day of class. The parent letter, which I will talk to you about today, and the course syllabus. So let's start with the course information for AP Gov. So just so you know, in essence, your son or daughter are taking a super course here at Webster Thomas. It is technically a course that requires both the law and justice or government part of 12th grade social studies and the economics part of 12th grade social studies. So your son or daughter will have me for the entire year, and they will be learning not only advanced placement, government, and politics, but they will also get a crash course in economics as well. We'll do that about mid-year, right after the holidays. So I just want you to know that this is a advanced placement class. The students will have a chance to take an AP exam on May 3rd, and that exam is the AP United States Government and Politics exam. It is an exam that is achievable. It's not a super hard, long history writing essay exam. It's more of a political science exam. So when we are studying AP U.S. Government and Politics, you'll see that we have 5 units that the College Board requires. Foundations of American Democracy, which we are starting this week. We will get into the brains of the Founding Fathers to learn about their intentions for setting up the American government, and we'll look at some of the things that influence them. We will be, in that unit, introduced to many of the foundational documents, obviously the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, a couple of the Federalist Papers. So there'll be a little bit of history in that one. So we start them out nice and easy, considering they took U.S. history last year. The second unit is interaction among branches of government. I tell students that this is the government part of government and politics. This is where you learn how the branches interact with each other. We'll dig deep into Congress. We'll dig deep into the presidency and the executive branch, and we'll dig deep into the judicial branch, not just the Supreme Court, but the lower courts as well. We'll also have a nice part of that where we deal with the federal bureaucracy, and we'll see how they all come together and work to make policy. The third unit is a unit that students really enjoy. It's about civil liberties and civil rights. We'll get deep into the Bill of Rights and the specific first 10 amendments and how they have been applied throughout history. We will also look at some civil rights issues in America of different groups who have been underprivileged or disenfranchised throughout American history. Unit 4 is about American political ideologies and beliefs. We'll learn about how people politically socialize and politically form their political ideologies. We'll really get into why conservatives are conservatives and liberals are liberals and independents are independents. This is a fun unit as well. And then the last unit is political participation. That's about voting and elections and how interest groups can represent people's interests, and money in politics and the media and all that. So there's the first There's 5 units of AP US Government and Politics. They are all fair game on the AP exam in May. When we study economics for a couple of weeks in January and February, we'll be studying 3 basic units. We'll look at the fundamental economic concepts of like scarcity and trade-offs. We'll do some supply and demand and microeconomics. And this last macroeconomics unit really ties nicely into the AP government course, since it has to do with fiscal and monetary policy and how the government interacts with our economy. Please know that after every one of these units in AP US Government and Politics, there will be a unit exam that will, to the best that I can in 55 minutes in a class, emulate what the AP exam will look like in May. All right, so we're looking at 30 to 35 multiple choice questions and 2 free response questions. I don't know if we will have 3 unit exams in economics this year, depending on the time and how much we have. I've scheduled it out where we're going to have some time for economics, but I may not give 3 full unit exams after each one of those units. All right, the grading system is a 5-component grading system in my class. Each one is worth 20%. So homework is 20%. We'll have tons of discussions and seminars, and students will know about those ahead of time. That is 20%. Any unit exams or major projects or any major essays they write, that's 20%. I give some quizzes every now and then. Those are 20%. Participation, that says in online meetings. That's a little old, but that was the case last year. But we will have participation graded weekly in my class. That's also 20%. So if you add it all up, that's 100 points. That's how someone would receive their grade in my class. As far as extra credit goes, I usually give extra credit in the form of test corrections. Since we don't take a ton of tests, 5 unit tests in an entire year, they tend to have a little bit more weight. So I will usually give the opportunity to have test corrections that can allow them to earn back half the points that they've lost on the test. And there will be a specific format for that. Late work, when we're back in school full time, obviously. So, late work is probably going to be a thing. I'm trying to kind of nip that in the bud at the beginning of the year. I try to tell students that if you're going to hand stuff in late, try not to make it a chronic thing. If it does become chronic, I'll take points off, usually 25%. And then after a certain time, I'll just give it a 0. The final average for this class, obviously you do have to pass my class. In fact, passing this class with a 65% or above for the entire year allows you to fulfill both economics and government requirements. If you fail this class, then technically you're failing 2 classes, and that would be a rough summer on your way out the door. The final exam, there is no official final exam in my class. The exam is the U.S. Government and Politics exam on May 3rd this year. So students will have the opportunity to earn college credit there. We'll talk more about the exam as the year goes on. As far as textbooks go, I will give a textbook, a really old Economics for Dummies textbook, to the students during the economics part of the class. During the government part of the class, they will not have textbooks. We will be doing much of our work from the Khan Academy website. Students can access that from their Chromebooks, or they can access it on their phone. There will be assigned readings and activities that are not part of Khan Academy. Everything else will be on Google Classroom. Your son or daughter should not be coming home with papers to read for me or to do unless they've printed them out themselves. Okay. There will be assigned readings and activities that students will be doing beyond Khan Academy. I've already said that. I'm really into podcasts. There's some really excellent podcasts that students can listen to. A link will be provided for students to click on these from any device. Okay. And then the only thing I ask kids to bring to class every day is a charged Chromebook. I'd rather them not use their phone, as we're reinstituting the no phone policy this year. So a charged Chromebook, or at least a Chromebook with a charger, would be delightful, actually. All right. As far as class expectations, we're teaching seniors now, so I'm pretty sure students know how to act and what the basics are. If you're absent, if your son or daughter's absent, obviously check the Google Classroom. That's why it's there. All right. Each lesson will be there for you to complete on your own. Okay. Grades are obviously happening. I've already talked about grades. I've talked about unit exams. And just so everybody is aware, we will be spending a ton of time in this class talking about current events. All right. The topics we discuss will be challenging. And I understand that some students will have stronger opinions than others. And I'm okay with that. In fact, I enjoy that. All right. But part of my mission for this class, as it says here, is to improve civic discourse. In other words, have better discussions where all people have a chance to speak and everyone's opinions are valued. All right. If students are falling behind, they are encouraged to come get extra help. They can use reminder or email me. Also, they can come see me in my classroom. I love teaching this class. And I think this is such a useful class for students, especially in today's day and age where government and politics is at the forefront of pretty much everything on the news, and students are becoming more politically active. So just a couple of other things. This week, hopefully, or next week, you are seeing a parent letter come home, or at least shown to you somewhere on Google Classroom. I've put it in the classroom. I've made it so that it is accessible to all. And at the end of the parent letter, I'm asking parents to click on this link to a Google form, or they can scan this QR code and it will take them directly to a form that they can fill out, just telling me that they've read the parent letter. And if they have any questions or comments, you can leave them there. All right, this is actually their first homework assignment. A couple of other things quickly before I end this. I do use Remind to communicate with students. If you would like to join your son or daughter's Remind class in AP Government, I have 2 of them here. You can simply go to the Google Classroom and click on the opening day presentation, or have your son or daughter do this. And in the opening day presentation are the join codes for Remind. There's the 5ABC class, there's the 6AB 5D class. All right. And please, if you joined this, join it as a parent, not as a student or a teacher. All right. This allows me to filter certain messages to students and certain messages to parents. So that is everything you might need for AP Government and Politics. Again, sorry I could not be at open house. If you have any questions, you can email me, or if you get on the Remind app, you can Remind text me. Thank you, and looking forward to having a good year.